The time done finally come. UFC 317 is a fabulous card. Main card fantastic. Prelim slight too. Even though I will forever be heartbroken that the best fight ever possible in this sport will probably never happen now, this Jones' main attraction is still one of the best fights of the year. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. I'm really wondering how far I'm going to take the crank with this title. Might just blatantly lie, but we'll see how I'm feeling. The sole singular most important thing about this fight is who is coming forward. Both fighters are different when they genuinely on the back foot. Think back to the first Oliveira versus Michael Chandler fight. The person having success was the one moving forward. Charles has to come out off the ripper and take the center. Go full Muay Thai style, hands glued to them temples, stay light on that front foot, taking away the calf kicks as he usually does, because Ilia does have some overly effective low kicks. Charles need to keep the distance with his own calf kicks, teeps, high kicks, knee stomps, oblique kicks, all that. Essentially, Charles has everything needed to take Max's game plan and turn it up to 15. That second Michael Chandler fight gave me so much hope for Charles because he maintained distance very intelligently for about 20 minutes. After that, things went downhill though, as well as the fact that his wrestling actually looked real good. His shots were strong. The chain wrestling was OD. It really can provide him a somewhat safe-ish space if Charles can find the clinch, specifically to negate Ilia's pressure when he come in a little too high. Bulk basically smothered the boxing a couple times by tying Ilia up. And of course, if and when the fight hit the mat, Olives is one of the best that the sport has ever seen. Hearing some people speak on this bout is fascinating in my humble opinion, because I feel like the analysis is either too vague or straight up just inaccurate, to be frank. Man, Ilia puts people out and Charles get hit a lot. While that is absolutely true, I just feel like it's more to it than that. No, Charles' head movement and defense overall is not the best, but a decent amount of that I believe has been because of poor approaches. He will fight like a kamikaze, bro. Walk forward with no regard for his well-being, and I refuse to believe he'd fight Ilia Topuria like that. I keep going back to that Michael Chandler rematch because for the most part it was absolutely perfect. We need that smart pressure as well because as I mentioned earlier, Ilia is not the same when he really on the back foot. I ain't talking about that little hot back he'll take when he'll roll with a shot and counter quick with the right hand. I'm talking about when you really get Ilia in the more defensive mode. I don't think a lot of people really understand what they watching when they view an Ilia fight. He is a serial overextender. One, because of the absolute confidence he has in his power and accuracy, but also because he knows that if he comes forward, even feint forward, you're going to move back. So when he throw, he banking on the fact that you are not going to throw back. And instead, you're going to get on your bike and get up out of there. There's a slight, very slight, misconception that you can't throw and box with Ilia Topuria. It's certainly not advised, but it can be done. And if you want to beat him, it must be done. Now, I know it's a lot of people who call me crazy for saying it, but it goes back to the most important aspect of this fight, octagon control. If the fight is in neutral, or Charles is maintaining the center, ideally, if Charles is moving Ilia back, not only is his defense not quite the same, but the opportunities to throw with Ilia on possible overextensions and fine counters will be there. The biggest shot in these situations will be that check left hook. Max found it many a times, and we knowing that Charles got a good one too, as well as having the power to hurt Ilia and make him respect what Charles got to offer. Where you absolutely, under no circumstances, cannot throw with Ilia is when he's moving you backwards. If you were behind that black line, brother, do not throw anything. That is when and where you may genuinely get killed. It's never fair. All Ilia Topuria knockouts have something in common. His opponent is backed up to or near the fence. So, I feel like I genuinely went over a great, realistic plan of action for Charles Oliveira to potentially win this fight. What sucks is that he could do all these things about perfectly and still get absolutely bombed within the first couple minutes of the fight. I'm picking Ilia Topuria, as I did when the fight first got announced. Think he gonna find his shot, bro. And I hear everything. It's really his first fight in this new weight class, and it takes some time to properly acclimate. The chance that his power don't translate that well moving up and fighting bigger guys. Charles not being an ideal stylistic matchup for him. I really don't think none of it matters. Ilia's last 2 fights weren't great for him stylistically. He nuked them both. And I don't care what nobody say. If Ilia is uncorking these bombs on any of these boys, they are going down. The body work will be a big thing too if Charles does come out with the high guard, whether it's his jab or digging in there with them hooks. In the clinch, it'd be more the same too. I think if Charles maybe look for like a top plum, his ribs will get wrecked. Even though that's a place Olives could find some knees, elbows, and uppercuts. And the takedowns. I mean, Ilia's boxing stance and posture overall put him in a good position to defend. Now, if Charles do end up being so much stronger than him, then Ilia's cooked. But his hard sprawls and the way he can kind of frame with his elbows will make it difficult. This dwarf just a problem, bro. And one more thing. I don't know why people keep saying Ilia don't defend high kicks well, because I personally do not see that. I think he's pretty good at it. Now, he got dropped by one before he got to the UFC, and he literally ate Jai Herbert's shin. But the Jai John in particular was just impeccable timing. He was able to catch him right in the middle of a combination because he'd be a little open like I mentioned, but whatever. Regardless of who end up coming out on top in this John, it will not see the championship round. In no way, it's impossible. I don't think it make it out the second, but give me Ilia by first round knockout. The co-main, not gonna lie, I don't have that much to say. Kai Kara has what on paper appears to be the kind of style that should beat Pantoja. Sprawling brawler with legitimate power. But I feel like his best work come as a result of having some space. Whether y'all in the center or he's moving you backwards. Cause he like to explode and hunt them overhands. Pantoja's more than likely gonna pressure him to oblivion. So my confidence in him finding that shot as the counter guy ain't as high. The champ also got a vibranium chin. Not saying he should be looking to eat anything from Kai, I'm just saying. And even though Kai does have good takedown defense, he done been taken down and controlled a little by lesser grapplers than Pantoja, so I think for the most part, Pantoja really just smothers him, to be honest. I'll take the champ by decision. Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. Dawg, Joshua Van can win this John, bro. I do have concerns, though. For one, brother, he just fought literally 3 weeks ago. And this is one of the biggest step-ups in comp I've ever seen in my life. Bruno Silva to Brandon Royval. Bruno is the best win Joshua Van has, and he immediately goes up to fight the literal bona fide #1 guy in the division. On short notice. Man, Royval really underrated and underappreciated at this point, I ain't gonna hold you. But there is a clear boxing difference between the two. I honestly don't think Brandon is the best technical boxer. He cool, but he really eat off the volume and has practically no power in his hands. The devastating stuff comes from the unpredictability. He fights like a crackhead, spinning attacks coming from nowhere, knees, all that crazy stuff. And not gonna lie, I have had a couple premonitions seeing Brandon Royval catch Joshua Van with something spinning crazy. But his thing is his kick game. Gonna need to heavily focus on it here too, cause boxing with Josh Van may be catastrophic for him. I'm also interested to see if Royval tries to wrestle. Now Van has really good takedown defense, very explosive. I just feel like Josh can have a lot of success. Royval's jab kinda weak. His retraction be a little lazy most of the time, and I'm positive Van can find that overhand over the top, like quite a few others have, Brandon Moreno in particular. My reservation is I ain't seen Josh fight a super kick-heavy guy yet, and I don't know how that look. But I don't care. I'm taking Joshua Van. Let's ride. Benil Dariush versus Money Moicano done been rebooked, and appears like it's actually gonna happen this time. This one got me kinda stumped. I think overall they real evenly matched. I believe Moicano is the better striker. Now he keep things extremely simple. Jabs and low kicks. But he good at it. But the grappling edge will go to Benil for surely. His scrambles are excellent. And overall I just think he's a more versatile grappler. Because Moicano on his back really ain't that good. So if Dariush is able to take him down, Moicano might be cooked. But I do believe he'll be able to stop Benil's takedowns. And like I said on the feet, I'm leaning towards Sonato. Benil's striking kinda sucks, especially his defense. Head does not move whatsoever. He finna be eating them jabs, boy. And I think he'll be a little tentative and gun-shy on the feet too. I'm taking Moicano. The UFC putting Payton Talbot through the ringer at this point, giving him Felipe Lima. I'm real glad this fight opening up the card too, because It'll expose the world to the talents of Felipe Lima. He is so good at everything. I think he has a speed advantage. Obviously, the wrestling and grappling advantage. On the feet, though, in theory, it's pretty close. I lean Payton's way, though. He is huge for 35, bro. And his counter ability is nuts. His defense do suck, though. He fight like a robot. My boy C3PO. He stands literally straight up, and his head does not move. He's for surely got a chin on him, though. I just don't think he's been able to make near enough improvements to keep Felipe off of him. He is so fast, and once the fight hit the mat, boy, good God. I think Felipe will submit him in probably the second. Jack Hermanson and RoboCop. This tough too, because I 100% believe Jack better. Greg cool. Extremely dangerous. Like, he might nuke Jack. But man, Jack's slick. I don't think he too worried about RoboCop taking him down neither, because he should be able to neutralize his grappling. And against a big, not the most technical power puncher, I think Jack can get it done. Terrence McKinney versus Slava Claus should be fun. Somebody is dying very quickly in that fight. That's all Terrence know. And lastly, Jacoby Smith. It's always funny when the MMA community fully backs a prospect like this. I seen something yesterday that he's a minus 4,000 favorite. Now, I don't know if all that's true, but either way, everybody think he winning this fight. But what if he just, loses? Nico sleep him or something. The thought of that is always hilarious to me. The world would genuinely stop for a couple seconds. But I also believe Jacoby does Nico Price incredibly foul. Nico, I'm sorry. He sucks now. He's kind of slow. Chin is gone at this point, and he got to fight this monster. Jacoby gonna be at the top of this division sooner rather than later. I'll take Jacoby by however he so chooses. This card lit. Can't wait. Got bangers all throughout this joint.